Hello, welcome. My name is Nadine.
My name is Aaron.
And we just wanted to take this opportunity to share some ideas of what you could do with your kids, since some of you guys may be out of school. Some of your children will be out of school, and some of you guys are...
Well, and she's trying, but let's be real. Here's the deal. We have 4 kids. And now all of a sudden we have to figure out how we're going to cover the days. But this is one of them right now. We're trying to do a video and look at what he's doing. Say hi, son.
Hi.
Now walk away. Thank you, sir. So, and you have to bring it to him like that. But here's the point. We wanted to make a quick video, and maybe it'll help somebody. We hope it'll help people. There are millions of people in this situation where schools are being canceled for weeks. So how you deal with that? What are we going to do? So what we're looking at is how do you turn the lemons of your kids not going to school into lemonade or something positive.
Yeah.
So we really have a couple of ideas, and again, some of this you may like, some of it you may hate. Put your comments down below. We want to just engage you guys and see if it was worth it, because again, it takes time to do these types of videos. So let us know your comments, but we'll get started. So here's the thing: working through those challenges, you can look at it as glass half empty or glass half full. Because all of us are going through the same struggle. Mm-hmm. So rather than looking at it as, oh, I'm judging this or whatever, how about making a plan so that you can take advantage of what are maybe unseen opportunities over the next few weeks or however long this lasts. So what's opportunity 1, babe?
Yep.
Okay,
so opportunity number 1 is to spend, give your children your undivided attention. Spend quality time with them. I mean, you can go to the playground with them. Don't just send them to the playground and you're sitting there on your phone, texting or whatever. Get off the phone, get on the playground with them, go down the slide with them, push them on the swing, run around with them, play kickball. Give them your undivided...
Go get you tired, trust me. Hey, Ben Gay if you need to. I mean, it still works. They have Ben Gay in the store. They don't have no more alcohol, but they got Ben Gay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ben. I'm sorry.
It's so true. There's no alcohol anywhere. Trust me, we've been trying to find it. Also, I know some parents don't want their children on devices, but if you have an Xbox or a PlayStation 2 or whatever it's called, and your children play on it, play with them. Mm-hmm. You know how excited they would be to see that you're playing Fortnite or Minecraft?
And you're gonna hate it. Let's be honest. Yeah. You're gonna hate it. It's not what you want to do, but if you can meet them on their ground, they're gonna be a lot more open to working with you. And again, we're trying to get our son out of here. Brother, can we do the video without you interrupting? Don't come back until we say you can. Good day, sir. Thank you very much. And again, with love, you can treat your kids like that, because he knows I love him and whatever. But again, if you got to come in for that, because you're going to do it anyway, I'm giving you permission. Go ahead on. But anyway, let's summarize that first one again. What were you saying?
If your children play on devices, play with them. I mean, I play with my kids sometimes on Fortnite. Well, not Fortnite. What do I play? Injustice or what? I don't know.
Injustice. No, Rocket League.
Don't even know how to use the controllers, but I do it anyway, and they enjoy that time that you spend with them.
They think it's great.
Yeah.
You're just like, what am I doing here? But they think it's just because you're there. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, as you can see, our youngest son is just itching to get on the camera. So, but I mean, there's so much things. Like, I have a daughter who loves to bake. And as many times as we try to make macaroons, and it's just, if you know macaroons, the French ones, it's very time consuming. But spend time baking with them, because I'll probably do that with her, even though deep down I don't want to, but because I love my daughter and it's something for them to do and spend time with them, that's probably something you can do. You can do baking. You can, like, if you have a child that has problems reading, since we have one that had problems reading when she was younger, go to the library, get a book that she may like, but get 2 copies of it. You read one, and you guys read it together. That way, if she has problems reading, or he has problems reading one of the words, then you can, correct her and not be over her with with her book. Yeah. You have your copy, she has her copy, and that way you can read together. There's lots of things you can do with your children during this time, of not being in school. You just have to think outside the box.
And have the right perspective. Have the right attitude, because attitude is very important. You can't fake what we're talking about doing just because you've heard this. You have to really, whatever it takes to get you centered, to say, I'm going to give this my all, that's what you need to do. So we're going to move on to opportunity number 2.
Opportunity number 2.
Opportunity number 2 is your patterns and your routines have been interrupted. Whether you like it or not, things are going to be drastically different for the next couple of weeks. So you know that some patterns and some routines have already been interrupted. This is your opportunity to interrupt / change some of those negative patterns that you've been kind of wishing you could get to and wishing you could kind of work with your child, but haven't really had the time because they're in school and you're at work or you're doing whatever. Well, here's some examples of what I'm talking about. Let's say your kid keeps a messy room. Okay, now you can go and show them in detail how you want the room to be clean and practice that with them so that you don't just tell them, go clean your room, which is what I do a bunch of times.
Yeah, because my mom used to tell me that.
Yeah.
And my idea of clean the room was just shove everything under the bed. And that, no, you can't
Yeah, see,
that.
that's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for is your expectation. But again, you have to teach the lesson before you expect and have the test. If you keep testing them about, keep the room clean, keep the room clean, keep the room clean.
They'll never stay clean.
And they don't know what their definition is. Whatever the minimum is, that's what kids are going to try to do. So again, that's just one example. The example number 2 could be like, maybe your child has poor eating habits. As you can see, I got a little meat on my bones. Maybe a little extra meat. We ain't going to talk about that. But maybe your child has poor eating habits or they just overeat. This is your opportunity now to be able to help your child make good food choices because you're going to be around to see what they're trying to eat. That's number 1. Number 2, you get the chance to teach them about portion control and portion size. Everything you buy that's a consumer good has a recommended portion size on it. Now, just because the Dorito bag is this big, because again, we go to Costco's and them puppies are huge, that doesn't mean grab a handful of Doritos. If you read the back of that or anything else, you'll see the recommended serving size, and I don't know for Doritos, so I'm not going to make it up, but my wife will put it in the comments, so it's going to be somewhere around here, the recommended serving size for the bag of Doritos. Show them that this is what you should be eating. This is what a normal portion is, and help them to be able to do that. You not only will give them good habits and help them to develop good habits, but you'll also help your food last longer, because none of us knows how long this is going to last. And all of us, if you've already gone to the store, you hoping this food lasts forever. With the 4 kids in our house, we okay for now, but depending on how long it takes, might have to. And we're not going to start off on a ration program, but believe me, rationing is not off the table because again, we just don't know what we're dealing with.
And if this is something you're unfamiliar with when it comes to portion size stuff, I mean, as you're teaching your children, you're teaching yourself. So don't feel like you're failing. I didn't even make that point. That's a great point. Yeah, don't feel like you're failing. I don't know about that. I don't know nothing about portion size. Teach yourself. Let your kids know that yes, you're a kid and you're teaching them, but you're also teaching yourself, so they know that we're not perfect. We're not the best parents in the world. We're actually the first generation raising tech children.
Yes.
So we're all just like blinded by what to do. So just let you know, as parents, you're doing a great job. Don't beat yourself up.
Because you're still around and you're still trying.
Yeah, and your children are still here.
That's a thumbs up. Just you wake up still in the fight. I'm telling you. So. We're just, again, we're not bashing anybody. We're really working to say, how can we get good to be better? That's what this video is about. How can we get, this situation to look at it in a positive light and take advantage of the opportunities? How can we get good to be better? Last example right quick will be like my wife mentioned, maybe your child is struggling in reading. Instead of them loving to read, maybe they hate to read. So what you would do is focus on how you can help them with some extended time and work in that subject area, because they're not going to be pushed at the same pace that school expects the work to be done and yada yada yada, to the point they're frustrated and don't want to do it. But develop some type of simple routine with whatever area they're struggling in that'll be realistic for you to be able to support, because you're going to have to be the support for them to do it.
Oh, I have an idea.
Go ahead, girl.
No, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sorry about that. So, one of our kids had problems with math. And so we try using Dollar Tree workbooks. We try printing out worksheets off the internet to get, have them learn more about math. And it just was not interesting to them. So, I found these. This is called, you can't see it, but let me see if you can see it from here. It's called Think Fun.
See, her arms aren't long. Look how long my arms are. Will the camera focus? Can the camera focus? Yeah. That's what long arms will do for you, baby. I'm sorry.
It's called Think Fun. I believe I got this off Amazon. I'm going to try to link it down below. But what these are is math dice. So you get 4 dice. And it
Again, excuse her short arms.
I'm above average height for a woman.
Not in front of the people. Not in front of the people. Come on.
So it comes with 2 sets of dice, and they have numbers on all of them. So basically, you make it a game. You roll the dice, and whatever 2 numbers come up, you can make it like adding, multiplication, subtraction. Now division, you know, it depends if they're like probably middle school or 5th grade or whatever, and they're learning about, you know, remainders. You could probably do it, but these are a great idea. Our kids actually loved it. It got to a point it was like a competition who can figure out the math problem the fastest. So this is a good opportunity.
And let's be clear. I'm sorry. For those who don't want to, need to, or can afford to go to Amazon, you can make that in your house, literally. I mean, it doesn't have to have all those sides. You can literally get some cube somewhere and just put numbers on it, and you'll get the same thing, because what we're talking about is getting the child engaged and involved. It doesn't have to be expensive and all cute and fun. We make it work. Well, it's probably, but you know, who knows how long it's going to take it to get there. You can make it today. You might get it from Amazon a day from now. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So also another idea is if you have like elementary students, more like ones who are learning basic math, just like adding and subtracting. Now, I've done this because I was so desperate. I bought a bag of Skittles. And so when they had their homework and it's like, Mom, what's 10 minus 4? I'll pull up 10 Skittles. I'll say, okay, take away 4. And well, how many do you have left? And I mean, sometimes you just gotta go to extremes to get them engaged.
You gotta learn how to properly bribe your children. I mean, she's trying not to say that on camera, but I'll put it out there. You have to learn how to properly bribe your children, because you cannot fight, nor can you win every battle up in this house.
Pick your battles.
The more kids you have, they gang up on you. They like little gremlins. See, I'm old school. Y'all don't. Some of y'all may not know what a gremlin is. Google it. You'll love the movie. It's old school, but it's kind of funny. They just team up on you. So anyway, with all of that being said. You compromise in a smaller area to get victories in the larger area. That's what I'm trying to say. And if it takes a few Skittles, which they're gonna find a way to eat anyway,
or M&Ms, you know, whatever that you know.
There you go.
Swedish fish, whatever you gotta do, you know. So just, you know, try to come up with the creative ways of doing it so it'll be fun to them, so they don't think they're actually doing work, they think they're actually playing. There you go.
And if you have a challenge that you think we may be able to get some input on, leave a comment below. If we feel like we can support it, we will. We're not going to waste your time, but you know, at the same time, we don't know everything, so we're not going to pretend like we're going to answer just to be, you know, we might say, hi, how you doing? I have no idea how to deal with that. But we will respond to you, because again, we want to have this be a learning thing for both of us, for both sides of the camera. So with that being said, the last opportunity that we're talking about, because we've talked about 3, the third opportunity would be, you want to use this time to strengthen your commitment and your faith within your family. And what do I mean by commitment? I'm saying that you have values that are important to you. Maybe it's education. Maybe it's respect for, you know, adults. Maybe it's being on time. Whatever your values are, you now have a golden opportunity to define what that is for your children in real life, because they get to see you either talk about it or do it, and then you can describe it for them. Then you demonstrate it with them and for them, and have them practice it. Look for teachable moments where you can show them how you want them to operate. And I'm saying them because we have multiple kids. It could just be one child. So when you hear them, translate that to whatever you need to fit your family. But the point is, seek out those teachable moments and be on the lookout for them, where you can actually instill these values that you're hoping that they get, because you know they're not getting them from outside of your home the way they would get them from inside of your home. And one of the most important values for us is, we're Christians. I mean, that's comment, whatever, give us what you feel about that. We understand. But in our household, we're using this whole situation to explain how humans may not understand what's going on and may not know the answers, but God is in control and God does. So that's one of the things that we have looked at the glass half full, and looked at the situation and found the opportunity within the situation. It's an opportunity to practically speak of our faith. If you want to, if you're a Christian, share your faith down, if maybe even an experience. If not, you have another faith, or just, you know, think that God is, you know, because, you know, you've heard things like God is the opium of the masses, and, you know, science is proving that God doesn't exist. You've heard things like that. So if you have that belief and you want to comment, we will do our best to respond to that too. Again, we just want this to be an engagement because we by no means know everything.
No.
But having survived 4 children.
Yeah, we got some experience.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. And again, you know, we can learn from each other, but we appreciate you guys sticking in there for this whole video. We know it was a little longer, but we didn't want to just give you bullet points and walk away. We're not a 20-second news spot. We are a family that has to live and work through real life. So we want to give you real life as we're talking to you. If you like this content, we can definitely. Oh yeah, fine.
Yeah, we need to give us a thumbs up if you like it.
I want the thumbs up. I want this. I know this ain't but one video, but we're gonna put out more if we see people having interest. Because again, we're not gonna sugarcoat or give you bullet points. We're gonna try to give you rubber meets the road, practical ways of managing whatever content we will be addressing on that video, and it's gonna cover all kinds of things. That's why we've created the channel with the name so that we can kind of fit whatever the moment needs for our content. But remember, regardless to what happens, if you are willing to put in the work and if you have a positive attitude, we'll all make it together.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what is it? You got this.
Bye.
Peace.